Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to episode 143 of the SuperWeapon podcast, the most overpowered podcast on the internet. It's your boy Darius the Artist, and as always, got my co-host DC here with me today.
What up, though? We in this thing, baby. Oops, I forgot my catch line. See, this is how people get fired.
Man.
This is how people get fired around here. Huh? Hey, just because you're the co-CEO don't mean you
That's
can't
all right,
get
man.
fired.
It's happened to me before. Like, I've forgotten the intro every once in a while. Like, what'd you say? Bridge builder, wall
Oh, yeah,
destroyer.
I'm the bridge builder, wall destroyer with the beads on today.
With
Late Mardi Gras for me.
Got his
Late
Jerry
Mardi
beads
Gras.
on. Some of our listeners
Yeah,
might be a
man.
little too young to remember that, but
Wait, did you hear him a little
oh
bit?
God,
For the audio listeners?
sorry, audio listeners for that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's what we own today. And besides that, my weekend has been pretty swell. How about you, sir?
Oh man, week's been good, man. Actually gonna be starting a new job next week.
And that's what I wanted you to say. Let's go.
Next Tuesday. So for those of you guys who don't know my day job, I work in the IT industry, and my contract ended this past Tuesday. But I was fortunate and very blessed enough, man, to have a job interview Thursday, and I got the job offer Friday. So yesterday, yesterday is as of this recording. So very happy and excited about it. Very thankful. Nervous, of course, but big things are coming, man. More importantly, my schedule will be coming back to semi-normal, so I can start making a little bit more content on a regular schedule, which is great. And I'll also be able to take care of the family, man. So just thankful and happy. What about you, man? How's your week been, man? I know you were playing a little bit of Wolong and
So yeah, as far as games go, I've been jumping down on Wolong streets and hey, just to let you guys know, you don't have to fight that tiger in the beginning. You can kind of just go around him instead of keep getting pummeled because he's way too strong for you. Now, I believe you can, once you get your morality meter up, I think you can go back and fight him. Do not quote me on that, but so far so good, man. It's on Xbox Game Pass. I like to traverse through these Game Pass streets and see what's the best they have to offer in there, considering I'm paying for it. And this game so far so good, man. It seems pretty cool so far. And then you got Atomic Heart, which we both have been playing, and you have surpassed me.
not by much though.
I'm enjoying that game though.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'm enjoying it. It's definitely a pleasant surprise, to like come across a game that is kind of refreshing because I know it's a shooter technically, but it's not like a competitive shooter, if that makes sense. Like there's a story.
No, it's a story-based game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a story-based game. And I just want to, I'm still a little confused about the intricate plot of the game. I know robots took over. That's like the basic thing, right? But we need to see like, they're hinting like towards someone being behind this, all this good stuff. I don't want to say too much just in case you guys are not that far ahead.
Right. Yeah.
So it's been good in gaming. Like my life has been good in gaming. Work and other stuff, same rigmarole, saying go to work, cry about it. Go to my other job and traverse through Atlanta traffic, cry in traffic, get to my second job, cry some more, typical, usual.
Typical, usual. Yeah, I got it.
Usual, we don't need to talk too much about that. But gaming wise, I am in a good space, my man.
Yeah, man. I'll say, Game Pass really has been kind of hitting pretty good this year. So shout out to Xbox and I know Atomic Heart has released on other platforms. So if you guys have PlayStation or PC, please pick it up on that because it's a really fun game and it's really one of those things where I've seen some not so good reviews on the game, but I'm just like you said, I'm having fun playing it. When I get a chance to check out Wolong, I do plan on it. Hopefully in another week or two, I'll probably be done with Atomic Heart. We can talk about it. I really kind of want to have my slate clear before Resident Evil 4 remake comes out because nothing matters to me once that game is out. There's nothing else to play. I'm not playing Apex. I'm not playing anything but Resident Evil for like a week straight. So super excited for that stuff, man. Speaking of Xbox, we really haven't spoken a lot lately about the current state of Xbox with the whole Activision Blizzard deal and, just kind of like what they have coming up. We talked a little bit last week. If you guys haven't seen or listened to last week's episode, make sure you check it out on YouTube or all the major podcasts and platforms. We talked about the Sony State of Play and some of the games that they were talking about. But Phil Spencer, man, he gave another interview this past week. He sat down with Charlie Hodson, I believe that's how you pronounce her name. If not, forgive me. Of Xbox On, just talking about everything from like the current Xbox, future plans. And I think it was, I have to give Phil credit, right? Because he really does know how to time these interviews perfectly, especially with everything going on with the FTC and the CMA across Europe. So just to give you guys a little bit more context, like I said, we haven't really talked about the current status of the deal that they're trying to still acquire Activision Blizzard. But Microsoft hit Sony with a Uno reverse card, and they basically subpoenaed Sony for them to provide documents related to the deal for the FTC hearing. So essentially, Sony has to kind of explain some of their partnerships, third-party partnerships, and some of the deals that they've made to keep games off of Xbox Game Pass while maintaining that exclusivity. Now, that is to say, that doesn't mean we're going to see these documents because they could be marked confidential, of course. Sony could lobby to have that done. But I'm very interested to see what kind of information we get out of that because, we talked for a long time about, PlayStation's dominance in the industry for the last close to a decade at this point. And it'll be interesting to see how they've kind of structured these deals. Because I've always been kind of curious myself. I mean, yeah, Microsoft is the larger company in terms of like revenue and, things like that. But Sony they've had a chokehold on the game industry for, like I said, almost a decade at this point. So it'll be interesting to see how they kind of Uno reverse and flip this card. I mean, along with that, they had the Nintendo partnership announcement, the 10-year deal. Like Microsoft is doing everything they can to really try to appease the ruling bodies over this deal. And there was one interesting comment that people have been kind of talking about, and I guess we can kind of start there, is that, during this interview, Phil made the comment that Xbox is going to exist even if the deal does not go through. And people are thinking that Microsoft all of a sudden is going to sell the Xbox division, which I think is absolutely hilarious. But how do you kind of feel about that, man? Do you even see, I mean, 'cause Xbox they haven't been shy about cutting fat before, right? I mean, not Xbox, Microsoft hasn't been shy about cutting projects before. But do you ever realistically see a universe or a scenario where they would just completely shed the Xbox division?
No. No, I don't even. Hold on. I'm just tweeting out telling folks that we're live. Let me get focused here. All right. No, I don't even know where people came up with such. How did you even come up with this idea is beyond me. Like, no, they already stated several times before how invested they are in just gaming, period, as a whole, from the Xbox to whatever. It's a big part. It has become a big part of who Microsoft is. Like, I mean, I know. Obviously, we have the computer software side and all that good stuff. But as they made their mark in the gaming industry, Xbox is here to stay. Like, it's not going anywhere. Microsoft's not selling it. It was just crazy to kind of go through Twitter and social media and see all these speculations. And because let's just be real, man. Sony people want PlayStation to quit so bad. That's where this narrative is coming from. Let's be honest. They just want them to just throw in the towel and be like, oh, PlayStation is just killing us. Oh, yeah. Because they brought up the numbers of units sold, right? With the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, I think
Xbox
PlayStation
Series.
5 it's like outselling them like 2-1 or something like that. The ratio is crazy.
Yeah, it's PlayStation, the Switch, and then it's Xbox. 1, 2, 3, big three. And so they like, oh, you know, Xbox, they're number 3, they're lagging behind. Oh, they're going to sell it. They're going to do this. Dog, number 3 still ain't bad. When you look at the numbers, like it's not bad. It's just number 3.
Right.
So now, granted, hey, hats off to PlayStation. All right, we not here to hate. We here to keep it factual. They are number 1. Their numbers are doing insane. But no, man, just to shorten this answer, no. Like, no, Microsoft.
Yeah, and it was
no,
just
it's
so
not going
weird.
anywhere.
It was strange, man. Like, because I think it started.
That's just ponies pushing the narrative, and I'm gonna say it. It's just ponies out here pushing the narrative because it fits their winning scheme. They're so happy that PlayStation is winning. I just feel like, I'm not gonna say it's the whole thing, but a small part of people pushing that narrative is them, and it's okay because everybody has their system and they're excited that it's winning. Blah blah blah, whoop de whoop. But we want to talk about this from a business standpoint, right? Not a fan standpoint, a business standpoint. And when you do that, when we cut off all the fat and talk about a business standpoint, no, it doesn't make sense for Microsoft to do that. Long story short.
If they hadn't invested so much time into Game Pass and
the
CEO of Microsoft, Satya Nadella, coming out to show his support of the deal and his support of Phil Spencer, and just like that entire gaming division. I mean, because we can be honest here. There was a point, word on the street. There was a point they were considering There was a point they probably were considering doing that with the whole Xbox One era, and I think his name's Don Matrick, the guy who was running Xbox at the time, and Xbox they screwed up pretty bad during the Xbox One generation, like 100%. There's no debating that. And Sony, they did, and they still continue to do a great job at branding their games, the console. Now, when it comes to the exclusivity deals and their business practices, I'm not a huge fan of it because I'm not gonna go as far as to say I think PlayStation's anti-consumer, but they're pro-business when it comes to PlayStation. And they've been fighting this deal tooth and nail for the better part of a year since the deal has been announced. And a lot of people are concerned. I don't think it's necessarily Sony's just concerned about Call of Duty. I think that's one of their biggest worries, that they're they're going to have to pay Microsoft for every unit that they sell, and B, they're going to lose out on the exclusivity perks, deals, and things that they have, that brings people over to their console. And that's kind of like the next thing I wanted to ask you or talk to you about. Because during this interview, Phil he touched on how he wants complete parity in the industry, that, the same game launches on all platforms, bar any exclusives, exclusive skins, exclusive DLC. Now, and I know what you're going to say, but I'm actually inclined to believe that when it comes to the mainline games, when it comes to the Call of Duty brand as a whole, I could see them doing some exclusive side projects, smaller games that would be exclusive. I would love to see that, but it wouldn't make, in my opinion, just my humble opinion, it wouldn't make sense revenue wise for them to cut off the largest platform holder for the game series itself, which is PlayStation. More people play Call of Duty on PlayStation than PC and on Xbox. So I could see them doing that. I mean, A, do you feel like a exclusive skin or battle pass item would be enough to move somebody to a console? And B, do you have any faith in the words of Phil, man? Do you believe in Papa Phil when it comes to Call of Duty?
Well, in this statement, no. This is the first time I'm going to have to go against the grain here, against Papa Phil. Phil, you're full of crap. Let's cut the crap, all right? We are trying to get people on Game Pass, right? That's what I feel like the big hoopla is just like, hey, we got to get people on Game Pass because we want to grow the Game Pass because it's one of our major things. Whoop-de-whoop. We talked about this already. And you're going to go all out to get a game just to keep it the same across the board. That's bullcrap. I think it's bullcrap. I think there will be little bits of exclusivity when it comes to Xbox, whether it be skins, maps, or whatever. because I mean it's been done before. Like, you know, back in the day, each system had like at least like one like exclusive map. It was always something that was slightly different. So I don't really see that changing if this deal goes through in Xbox favor. I feel like Xbox may add a little sauce in there, you know, whether it be tied to Game Pass or not. Like it would, I don't know. I just feel like it makes sense in a way. Like I feel like it makes sense in a way. Now, is that enough to bring people from PlayStation over to Xbox? I don't know, man. PlayStation people are pretty loyal, but at the same time, we're acting like people can't own both systems.
That's true.
So I feel like it may not really be enough to get people there, but I think it will add a little bit to Game Pass. Like if they tied it in with Game Pass, which we spoke about before, if it was just like, hey, you know, I believe you said it. You were like, hey, you get 3 months free of Game Pass or something if you do this or that. They're going to tie it in some kind of way because.
Okay,
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you good. You good. Go ahead.
It's just and here's what the way I'm kind of thinking about it. And this is, I guess it just really depends on what the FTC and the CMA do, because reading up on like just like the latest, I guess what's been going on, like a lot of people are thinking, a lot of people much smarter than myself, and I tend to agree with them that they think that for this deal to really go through, the Xbox is going to have to make some sort of concessions when it comes to like basically like legal promises that they can and won't do certain things. And I wonder if that's going to be like forever, or if it's going to be like, hey, you can't have exclusive maps for Xbox for the next 15, 20 years for Call of Duty or something, or if it's just going to be like a forever type thing. Because I mean, if this was just if Game Pass didn't exist, I would be more. I would agree with you 100%. I would call it a load of crap. You know, Phil selling snake oil. He's snake oil salesman. Yeah. But I really feel like the business model for the games industry is changing so much so fast. I mean, even lately, like I noticed how, you know, PlayStation will report on certain number of units sold for a game, like God of War sold 10 million units or whatever, you know, but Xbox doesn't do that. Instead, like for High Five Rush, they were like, hey, we have 2 million players for High Five Rush. They didn't say how many people bought the game, just how many people are playing it on Game Pass. And I'm curious if Xbox is looking at not just the number of units sold, and I just want to know, like, how much money do they make off of Game Pass? That's the ultimate question.
That's the man, and to sustain that, right?
Yeah.
Like to keep Game Pass going, honestly, from a person like me looking in, like you said, there's people who deal with this that are way smarter than us. That's why they're in the industry. I often wonder about that as well, and how are they maintaining this? Because to me, it seems like it comes at a loss, right?
It has to,
because if a game comes and goes straight,
like
right. If a game comes and goes straight to Game Pass, that means you got to foot the bill, because like people are not buying it. Like, you know, when a game come out and people buy it, that's a transactional thing. So that those developers and everyone who was involved with that game, that's how they make their money back on the back end. But if it's coming out on Game Pass, like it's like, where's the back end? Like it comes out, do they just pay them outright? Do they say, hey, for this game to go on Game Pass, we're going to give you guys 40 million, like off top. We're just going to give you 40 million.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I wonder, right? Like, and you could probably speak to this much better than I could, because you're way more knowledgeable about like the music industry and like the whole streaming thing. Like, how are artists paid for songs they release?
Oh boy,
like is it per click, or is it that person has to listen to the whole song, like a certain length of the song, or you know what I mean? Like how does that work?
There's different variations. There's a certain amount now, quote, streaming with music is just as tricky. So if you're listening, and I'm saying this wrong, it's only from what I heard from various of sources, because the music industry don't even know themselves. Most artists don't even know how they're getting paid off streams. It's
That's
crazy, but it's
wild.
true. But I'm gonna try to break it down from the various sources that I've heard. They say you get paid per song if the person listens to it over 20 seconds. So if you skipping through like a song, it don't count. Like if you
Oh,
go through an album and you just skip through it,
yeah.
I don't think those streams count. You actually have to listen to like at least 20 or 30 seconds of the song for it to count as a click. And the click is like pennies on the dollar, like literally like 0.00002 cent or something crazy, right? Unless you're like
Wow.
Drake, like yeah, that's why the music industry is in shambles right now because like streaming has literally destroyed the artists getting paid from music. That's why a lot of artists they tour a lot and they sell a lot of merch. Like merch and
Mm.
touring is like how they're getting paid now because streams are so ridiculous. Like I know y'all heard like it'll be like, oh, Drake hit 6.2 quadrillion streams. And that shit only comes up to like maybe like $2 million or something like that. Like it's crazy. Like when you look it up, no one has a clear-cut answer to this, by the way.
And
Like
and the
if you
reason
ask
why,
anyone, it's a different answer and it's crazy.
yeah, and the reason why I'm asking because I imagine, you know, Xbox could say something along the lines of, "Hey, we'll pay you
Mm-hmm.
X amount of your budget that it costs you to make the game, or work out whatever number. Let's just say $40 million. We'll pay you 40 million to keep it on Game Pass for a year or something, and we'll,
Right.
we'll also give you an additional percentage if a player completes 40-50% of the game, or they play a certain number of hours. That's why I'm curious. That's why I asked you about the music industry thing, because I'm curious if they kind of model it something similar to that. Because it's just like
That
you
would make
said.
perfect sense, though. That honestly would make a lot of sense. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's your answer because, yeah, like I don't see
Because how
how.
does like Netflix make money? How does any streaming platform make money? And that's really like my biggest question because I don't know. I haven't really looked enough into it, and maybe that'll be something we could fold into next podcast, next week's episode or something. Because I'm genuinely curious now. You know, because we've heard, I've seen developers go on record to say that their sales have gone up because they're on Game Pass. Like individual sales of units have doubled or tripled or whatever. But to be completely honest with you guys, I myself have not purchased a game off of Game Pass, even if I've played it all the way through. I don't feel the need to, or the inclination to want to be like, well, why pay the full price when I can just continue to pay $15 a month? Get my whatever I deem my value of the game and just keep going about my day.
But what if, okay, if games are what, $70 a pop, right?
Yeah, we could say AAA titles are 70 now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So 15, 15, that's 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, 4 month. Roughly 5 months you didn't paid for the game with Game Pass. Well, no, that don't make sense because then you got to think about all the other games.
And
I
then
don't
once
know.
again, it's like that Netflix model. Like, okay, we know that Xbox has the subscription. $10 a month for the normal, and then Game Pass Ultimate's 15 right now. I think they said they have like 30 million subscribers. Like that's a lot of money, right? But you got to think about like operating costs. The cost of the servers. Like we know from Twitch how expensive streaming can be, how much money they burn through a month just keeping their servers alive and providing like the encoding and everything. Like I just hope that we get to know more through this deal. Maybe the court or order, hey Microsoft, how you making money off Game Pass? We want to know what's the books looking like. Y'all cooking y'all books over there? What y'all got, man? Like
Not cooking the books.
Phil, you
Boy,
cooking the books,
look,
man?
that
You
might be the title. That might be the title right there. Cooking the books.
cooking the Xbox books? I don't know, man.
Hey,
Like
and if anybody knows anyone in the music industry or any of these industries, if you're in chat, if you happen to hear this, I don't know how. Maybe you hear it from third party, wherever you guys hear this, and if you have any answers or anything you could break down, please reach out to us.
I
I
would,
would love to know exactly
yeah.
how this works. It's amazing, and yet, like, because, like I said, I look at it, I was like, yo, they have to be like taking a hit somewhere,
They
right?
have to be like there's no way that they're all. I mean, no business operates at 100% profit. We know that to be true. But
Hmm.
with and once again, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because Xbox is focusing so hard on Game Pass. Like, Phil said there's going to be an Xbox, there's going to be a set top box, hardware going forward, probably forever. Like, I'm disinclined to disagree with that. But Game Pass isn't going away. This isn't an experiment for them. This isn't something that,
They're too invested.
yeah, they're too invested at this point. And now that we're starting to get these AAA titles coming out, we mentioned Wolong, we mentioned Atomic Heart, and then they're gonna have their own first party games that come out. Like, what happens when Starfield comes out, right? Like, are they gonna say, hey, 5 million people are playing Starfield, or are they gonna say, hey, we've sold 1 million, 2 million copies? I don't think they're gonna go back to the like revealing those kind of numbers, and I wonder what that's gonna do to the industry going forward. And I can honestly
Hmm.
see why Sony's like hesitating when it comes to wanting to invest in a streaming platform, because nobody knows. I don't think
Well, and the
anyone
fact
knows.
that, and once again, man, like, I have to give Sony their just due. Like,
Hmm.
I believe they're doing okay without it, honestly.
They are.
Like, I believe they're doing okay, and the future could be weird. 10 years from now, like, who's to say, like, PlayStation, like, hey, we could put blase, blase, blah on Game Pass, and then Microsoft, like, start paying them. Who knows? Like, it can be some craziness going on, but I don't think PlayStation really needs to.
I just look.
Now, I flip flopped on this issue because at first I thought so, but now just PlayStation just lives in its own world. It's almost becoming Nintendo like. You know what I'm saying? Like, they do good with what
Hmm.
they do good at, and that's producing very good single player. And a lot of people don't even realize this until I tell them. I'm like, yo, you notice, like, all the games that are mega hits on PlayStation are single player
The
games.
single
They're not
player,
multiplayer.
third person over the shoulder, and I just did a quick Google search. As of early February of this year, God of War sold 11 million copies. Right? You multiply
Mm-hmm.
that times $70. That's $770 million. And not to mention the fact that
So,
they own Bungie now, so they have that live. They're investing into live service games.
mm-hmm.
Destiny just broke its concurrent player record this past week because of Lightfall. You
It
know,
always do. Whenever the expansion come out for Destiny, whatever you say about Destiny,
it's gonna be there.
it's gonna be there. It's
Yeah.
like GTA Online. It's forever gonna be there, bro. As
So
long as they keep making it.
I just don't. Let's see, Last of Us, right? Last of Us 2. I know this is probably seeing a spike in sales because of the show. It has to be.
Yeah, it did. They already said part 1 and 2. People went back, bought it, started playing it, which
So
is expected.
yeah, so they sold. Let's see. This is a Statista.com chat. This is very reputable, of course. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Um, it says around 10 million units according to Statista. I'm just doing this on off the cuff right here. So if these numbers are wrong, please correct me. Last of Us 2 sold like $10 million worth of, or 10 million units, excuse me. Like, and that's the thing that kind of scares me too. Like, now that we're talking about this, I'm, a little scared of Game Pass. Like, what happens if 10 years from now they realize that model doesn't work because games are getting more expensive every year. The
Mm-hmm.
budgeting, the cost of development is going up every year. So I really want to know what the hell Xbox is thinking. Like, Phil, come on the podcast. Let's talk about it.
Because obviously they have a plan, right?
They have
Because
to.
when you sit in these meetings, they really do. Like, I don't know if y'all ever had the experience of sitting in, like, quarterly
Hmm.
budget meetings and stuff like that. They kind of project
There's
at
a
least a
forecast.
couple of years. Yeah, there's forecast and trends and whatever it is that you're, like, wherever you work, whatever you're selling. Like, for Microsoft, it'll, well, for that part, it would be, okay, what are we projected to do with the Xbox? How many units are we going to push? What do we predict Halo's going to do? Like, it's all these things that they're calculating, and I just want to find, like, I want to go to Microsoft and literally just do like a tour. I would love to speak with people there.
Yeah.
Because Xbox Game Pass is like one of the biggest enigmas in gaming right now. Because it's like,
how are they doing?
It's like, it's great, but at the same time, it's like, how long can you sustain this? And then it's just like, who's paying these developers? Like for Starfield, like did Microsoft just cut them a set check?
Well, I mean,
like, hey.
I think it's probably different for like their first party studios because they own them. You know what I mean? Like Bethesda got what 12 billion in that sale or that merger. They spent 12 on them. So maybe they're just writing them Microsoft checks now, you know, direct deposit to all the Bethesda employees.
Maybe that was part of the $12 billion deal. Who knows? Like, yeah, we'll give you 12 billion, but when you sign on, you got to give us Starfield. Like that's on Game Pass.
I just don't want to be wined and dined and then be stuck with the bill at the end of the day, you know, with Microsoft, you know. Like
Microsoft is taking people out on dates and door dashing.
Yeah, I don't want them to be like, yeah, you grab the check. I just got to go to the bathroom real quick, and then they, you know, we're stuck with a $1 billion check.
So, hey, chat, we're getting so many titles right now. Swear to God, door dashing.
It's just Microsoft.
What are you doing to me?
Yeah, so I mean, because when is enough for them? Like, I could see them going after another acquisition probably in a year or two after this is all done. Because, you know, like I said before, and I'm gonna ask you again, like, I still think the deal is gonna go through, and you know, I'm wondering how you feel about it. Do you think, you know, because they've been putting on the full court press lately.
Boy, it's been a battle from hell, haven't it?
Like they've been getting lawyers involved, and
hey, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm kind of over it.
Same. I just want it to be announced. Over it.
I'm just like, win, lose, or draw. I don't even care at this point. I'm just tired of hearing about it.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like we talked about off mic, I don't understand why so many Sony people are pressed about this.
Because it's good clickbait. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, because it's like people online talk about, oh, Sony's the best. Oh, we don't need Call of Duty, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, then why is everybody so upset? But you're right. It's just people, just for the sake of argument, people just want to.
Because I haven't heard too many.
Only on the internet.
I haven't heard too many people talk about what we just brought up, and that's why I wanted to bring it up, because it's kind of concerning. Like, and I don't know if I'm just like fear mongering myself in my head, but I just, you know, we don't know how it works. Just like you said about streaming and, you know, in the music industry, we don't know how it works. Like, how are you making money?
And that's crazy when artists literally, I kid you not, like there's artists who will tell you like, yo, they tell me one thing, I get a check for like $2,000. I'm looking like, what is this? And they're like, oh, well, this is for your streams. Like, that's it? How? Like, wait, what? So can somebody break this down? And a good person to listen to, hey, all music lovers, hey, follow my guy, LaRuss. I'm telling you, the guy, he breaks down the industry to a T. But this is not a music podcast. My music podcast is coming one of these days, so stay tuned to that. But anyway.
Yeah, I think that's a good plug on that, man. Like, you know, we're definitely going to keep up with this whole situation. Like, I'm curious to know what gets revealed in court about Sony's third-party exclusive deals and how anti-consumer they are. Or excuse me, pro-business. I'm going to stop saying anti-consumer because it makes me angry every time I say it out loud. But yeah, we'll move on from that, man. And we'll definitely...
Because we got a doozy for you.
Yeah, it got another interesting topic.
We got a doozy for you on this topic. Boy, let me put on my pearls. Yo.
How can you find DC's music podcast? Stay tuned for that, Sergey. It's definitely coming up. The best way is to, you know, you can follow DC on, I don't know if you have Twitter or any other social media sites. Make sure to follow him on all of his social media. And when he's ready to make that announcement, I'm not involved in it at all. This is something that he's, you know, his project he's working on, so there's nothing to do with me. I don't have that much love for music like he does, so I'm actually excited to hear about it myself. So just stay tuned for that. We appreciate you asking about it, though, man.
Yeah, welcome back, Sergey. Good to see you. What's up, Pia? How you doing?
Man, what's going on, Pia? Thank you for stopping by today. Hello. All right, man. So we're gonna talk a little bit of Olympics now. You know, we're gonna talk about the Olympic Esports series. So I want to say it was sometime last year when we first talked about this. The IOC, or the International Olympic Committee, last year announced that they were taking a swing into esports, and we were really excited about it, man. And we were hoping to hear some good news, and we finally got some news this past week, but it's not the kind that we were we were hoping to hear. So, so they announced the Singapore Olympic Esports Series is going to be from June 22nd to the 25th. Man, this list of games they announced, there's nine games,
Ooh.
And they are archery, baseball, chess, cycling, dance, motorsport, sailing, taekwondo, and tennis. I know what you guys are thinking. No, these aren't traditional sports. These are traditional sports games that they are calling esports. And to say us disappointed, man, is definitely a understatement. I was hoping for something a little bit more traditional when it comes to esports, like maybe like a FPS, CS:GO, League of Legends, something along those lines. That's what we were kind of like, we were kind of hoping for. But DC, how are you kind of feeling about the announcement? And we'll talk a little bit like how this kind of affects esports in general, because the esports industry is actually kind of shrinking at the moment. It's going through a lot of compression because of the economy. But do you think this is like the move when it comes to
Oh my God, man. Okay, so let me give y'all a little backstory. We talk about these topics throughout the week, right? So we shooting topics back and forth to each other over text. And that's how we get to where we are today. But Darius sent me this, and I was like, okay, cool, because I was thinking we get to talk a little bit about some Street Fighter, maybe some Blaze Blue, some things they could put in there, what we consider esports, right? So I didn't know I was going to have this much fun with this topic. I'm going to be honest with you. So I go to research the topic so I can get my notes ready. And yeah, they are totally missing the mark here. This is ridiculous. I don't know. Who do they talk to? Like, why is this happening? They got chess on here. Is chess a real Olympic sport?
Yeah, well, it is. It is an actual.
And I love chess. Don't get it twisted. I love chess. But I'm like, what? Only thing that sort of kind of makes sense, maybe Gran Turismo. Like, they got virtual regatta, with the pedals when you're pedaling on the boat with your team. And I was like, where did you even find this game? Are they making these games? I've never seen this. Matter of fact, I'm going to pull up my Steam and see if I can find anything. And then they got tennis.
The thing that kind
of wait, this is the one that killed me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me. You gotta let me cook on this one. Hold on, and then you can talk. They have Just Dance. Somebody gonna be hot in the ass on them feet pads. Darius, what is going on here? What happened?
I think I'm right there with you, man. I think this is incredibly out of touch. To put it the nice way, this is so out of touch with the game industry, man. I thought this was gonna be, like I said, the first time we talked about this, I was excited because I thought this was gonna be a step in the right direction for esports, for the world stage, everyone to really see kind of like what competitive game is all about. We were really gonna start to get some real movement behind esports, but it looks like they just really just didn't care to even research popular games. I mean, outside and to speak on Just Dance, right? Like, I'll give them credit for this one because I think there is like an actual competitive, and I don't know how, if anybody can tell me, is it points based? Is it how you vibing real good with the hitting?
No, I think the thing is the more accurate. Because I play Just Dance. I'm gonna be real with you.
Yeah, I think it's like the more accurate you are, like there's like an
I just
actual
played it at Andretti's. At Andretti's Racing, I was playing it. It's about accuracy.
Right.
So the more accurate you are, the more points that you get. And then if you're more accurate than your opponent, then yeah, I think that's how it's going.
Right. And
Yeah.
shout out to P and Sergey. They're both playing chess right now as we're recording. You guys might have a chance. Hey,
You
y'all,
guys think you can beat
you
me?
could be an Olympic gold medalist, man. So, but it's just this is just so short sighted, man. Like, I really wish they would have taken the time to really involve some people who are leaders in the industry, the esports industry, bring them in, get some opinions, and go from there. Like certain games, I understand, maybe not FPSs because there are certain some countries might not like how their country's represented in a certain FPS or
Yeah, that's true.
understandable on that front, but like this is not the way to go. You don't bring you're just turning traditional sports into the game.
Yeah,
That
games like we already have that. Like the thing for esport is it's supposed to because my thing is you're drawing in a different demographic, right?
right.
You got more eyes on the Olympics because you're going to draw in the gaming community. And I think this would have been, like you said, I think this would have been a major step in a direction as far as like exposure to kind of show the world that gaming and like in a non-traditional sense can be very competitive because like this would have been great for the FGC, the fighting game community.
Oh
I
man.
think it would have been so awesome for them to have, especially with Street Fighter 6 right around the corner. I feel like this would have been a great opportunity for them to shine. I feel like you have your Call of Duties, as much as we don't really play it, like Call of Duty is Call of Duty. It's gonna attract people. You
Worldwide
know what I'm
appeal,
saying?
man. Number one
Yeah,
selling game every year.
it's gonna bring people. You know what I'm saying? You could have did a whole bunch of things. Like you could have did even sports games. Different kinds of sports games if you want to throw those in there, which has very competitive communities.
Right.
There's a lot you could have did that wasn't this. Like this only. Okay, let me ask you a question. On this list, right? What what would you keep on this list?
Just Dance, and that's it. Maybe Gran Turismo, because for me, like when it comes to esports, for me personally, somebody who's been a fan of esports since high school and just like once again follow the industry very closely. I think the biggest problem with esports right now is watchability. The average
Mhm.
person wouldn't necessarily know what's going on in some of the games that we recommended, like Valorant, and CS:GO. While we would know, we may not play the games, but we're gamers. We understand what's going on in most FPSs. The average person or average viewer might have trouble keeping up with certain strategies or certain reasonings for things that they do, and it might make it less entertaining for people. So I would probably keep that because once again, Just Dance is pretty simple to follow. Gran Turismo, it's a popular game as well as, once again, it's a racing. First place wins. You know how that's really easy to understand.
Mhm.
Sailing, how the fuck you win? You know,
Look,
how is that? How does that work? And then
hey, regatta
Taekwondo,
is just racing though. All regatta is just like racing on the water. That's
yeah.
all sailing virtual regatta is.
And I
It's
think
just
like
you know.
they could have even taken this a step further. The IOC could have gotten involved with YouTube, Twitch, Facebook to some degree, I guess, and partner with them to find people in certain game communities or certain companies to have people who are knowledgeable about the game. You can have certain casters cast these games for the Olympics. That because I don't remember the last time I've watched the Olympics. I mean, people already aren't watching TV like that, so
Why don't they? It's
why are they not working with the places where gamers are? Like,
because this threw everybody for a loop. It's not just us. Like
oh man.
the whole gaming community. Everybody was like, "What?
Oh, the
Like
comments on
what?"
this tweet was hilarious, man. Like they were pretty funny. I should have taken a picture of some of them and read them on here, but with where esports currently is, and you have investors pulling out, seems like almost weekly at this point, for multiple games, not just Call of Duty, not just Rocket League. I mean, 100 Thieves just had their second round of layoffs for employees. Another esports organization called The Guard completely folded this past week, fired everybody apparently. It's really hard to get a return on investment in esports at the moment, because a lot of outside investors are realizing that this dream isn't necessarily the one that was sold to them. And I'm kind of like inclined to agree with them a little bit, because it's hard. How do you make money in esports? It's very hard to do. I was trying to do that last year at the job I worked when I was at Rare Drop, really trying to figure out the best way to monetize and make money. And it's not as simple as just bringing in content creators to an organization, because once again, how do you place a value? How do you place or show return on investment with value when it comes to content creators? It's incredibly hard to do that. And I think this would have helped stabilize the industry a little bit, to the point where it would have gave it a little bit of legitimacy. And then you would have had, once again, you have the world stage looking at the Olympics, and other investors would have been like, hey, maybe we should take a second look at the gaming industry when it comes to esports. And just like Pia said, I wonder if they're trying to expand their audience aside from all of the FPS fans and such. And that's what I'm kind of thinking. That was the only thing that kind of made sense to me. Now, what would have been a good middle ground? Keep some of these, right? Like, keep a few of these, but mix in some of those other games we mentioned. Mix in a fighting game, mix in Call of Duty, mix a little something in.
They do got a fighting game. Virtual Taekwondo.
Taekwondo. Okay.
Taekwondo. Right. God, boy, I can't pronounce nothing. But what is virtual Taekwondo? Where's that at?
Is it? That's my thing. Like, is it just VR? And then at that point,
you're just
are they professional Taekwondo fighters playing in this? Like, that's another question I have. Like, is there? Because like with traditional Olympics, you have to qualify to join or to be able to participate. Is this just like anybody can sign up? Is this,
like, are they finding these people? Because, with Olympics, it's like usually they're recruiting the best in that field. Exactly. So, like, where are they getting these people? Because we barely even know these games. So where the hell are they getting these people? Like, did you say, like you said, is there a tryouts? Like, do they have, like, going city to city? Like, hey, are you a archery master? Let's see how good you do at this game.
And there was nothing of, like, an announcement for that. Like, you get to, anybody can sign up, anybody can come get it. Because I would have signed up for regatta, see if I can mix in with the sailing. To be honest, chat, you never know, man. Might have a hidden skill set there. Like,
that sounds like a lot of. You know what? I wish we just called Dana on the podcast. Dana, that's our expert, regatta expert.
Oh man, like, this is just a huge miss for me, man. And like,
I'm gonna tune in. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Of course, we're gonna.
I'm gonna tune in to see this dumpster fire. You better believe I'm gonna be there, front seat with my lawn chair and a nice cold glass of lemonade.
We would be doing you guys a disservice if we did not watch this. Like, this is definitely going to be some free and fun content. Like,
but see, speed running is so niche, though. Like, people outside of gamers, I don't think they really have an appreciation for that, though.
Once again, I think it would depend on the game. Like, if it's something easy to follow, something easy for people to follow and figure out, like, and then it comes down to the casting. Like, you have to get people that know what they're talking about, and not just experts in the game, but people that can explain it to the average person or break it down to the average person. Because once again, I watch Valorant. I do watch some competitive Valorant. I don't know what the hell's going on half the time, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't, but I enjoy it. But not everyone would. So this, I just, hopefully this kind of, I do want this to be successful. Let me say that. I want it to be successful because this could open the door for those other games, and if hopefully the IOC, the ruling body for the Olympics, they kind of touch base a little bit more, man. Like, get in touch with the culture a little bit, because I mean, this don't get me excited. Like, just being honest, like. But I'm gonna get hyped for it. I'm gonna watch it, man. I'm in there.
We're gonna talk about it. Yeah. We're gonna talk about it live and direct.
Maybe we can do a watch party for it if they, if we don't, get in trouble for that. Like, Maybe we can find some way to stream
Yo, a watch party for this. Yo,
Yeah.
hey, chat, y'all coming to that watch
Yeah,
party?
Chad, you guys gotta watch. Come to the watch party. Yes, Anderson, I'll eat a ham dog again just for you, man. Oh,
Oh yeah, it is 2023, right?
yes, it's in June 22nd through the 25th. So this is like right after E3.
Oh, I was talking about the ham dog.
No, I'm never eating that again. Never.
All right, hey Anderson, look, check it out. I'll make a deal with you, buddy. I'm gonna make the ultimate ham dog just for you.
So disgusting.
We're gonna bring it back. I'm gonna make it, and not only am I gonna make it, I'm gonna eat the whole freaking ham dog. Just because you've been with us for so long and such a great supporter of what we do. Ham dog for you, buddy. I got you.
Shout out to my wife for making the buns for that, man. Oh my God. What is the ham dog, Sergey? Oh, buddy.
Oh, buddy. It's so American, boy. I tell you that.
I gotta see if I can find the original tweet. It was a while ago when I made it.
Oh no, I got it.
You got it? Yeah, post it in Discord.
Hold on.
Man.
No,
oh my God.
Hey, Sergey, I got you, my man. I got you. Hold on.
Oh man, it was so disgusting.
It's on. Oh, he said they don't have.
Yeah, they don't have Twitter yet, so we gotta.
That's fine. We got you. I got you, homie.
Yeah, we'll post that in.
Hey, what are friends for? Hold on. We gonna watch it right here, live and direct.
Don't be scared. No, don't be scared.
No, bro. It's the greatest. It's American Eden.
Oh,
you know
man.
what I'm saying?
It's freedom, is what it is.
It's right on my It's on my Instagram right here. I was just looking at it the other day, thinking about that. Delicious, succulent. Look at this. Where you at, Sergey? Look at it. Look at that. You see, that's the bun.
Oh man, she did a great
That's the
job.
bun. It's a hamburger and a hot dog put together. Now check this out. But it wasn't cooked yet.
No,
It's a hot dog and a hamburger.
It is the worst decision I've ever made in my life.
And that's my screen dirty. Don't look at my dirty screen. Don't judge me.
Oh my God.
I ain't took my phone out of my case since I bought it. Leave me alone. Look at it. Doesn't it look good, guys?
Oh, it made
So for my man
hurt,
Anderson, since he's been our number one listener since forever, I'm gonna bring it back for you, buddy.
Yeah, ham dog is definitely an OG community thing. Freedom ham dog, exactly.
I got you, Anderson. I promise you. You give me the date on the future episode of the podcast, and I'll get prepared and I'll make it for you, man.
Jesus, boy, we're going off the rails here, man.
It's okay. This man said succulent. Oh my God.
Disgusting, man. But yeah, man, that's the IOC. We'll see. Like I said, we're gonna watch it, man. We'll definitely keep y'all updated on that. I just wish that hopefully this will be successful. It may not be the form that we want, but it's a step in the right direction. So, but
do you think it's a thing they'll learn? Like maybe this one it'll be a little rocky. They'll get feedback and then it'll get better. Is what I'm hoping. That's what I hope.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's definitely gonna be a learning experience. Like I just once again I hope that they allow us to stream it. Like they have to. They gotta really just get with the times, man. IOC they're definitely not quick to make changes, but this is when they originally announced it. I had hope. I still got a little hope. I mean, not necessarily with some of the selections of games. I think Just Dance is probably going to be the most hype thing they have, and maybe chess. I mean, we joked about chess, but chess is actually pretty big on Twitch. Like a lot of people play chess. It had its moment during the pandemic too. So yeah, shout out to all the people in chat who play chess in DC.
I love chess.
Yeah, chess is it's a pretty big sport, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, it's gonna be intense.
Hey, 1v1, bro.
They have to add like anime music on the end of it, like when people are about to checkmate and stuff. Like you gotta drum it up.
Oh, hey, they have like an anime like that sweat drop on their forehead.
Yeah, you got to, man. That's the only way. Checkmate. This guy's good.
Oh, see, this is why we always go off the rails. This is why we write things down so we can stay on topic here. But yeah, I really do, for the gaming community, I really do hope that this turns out to be something good, man.
Yeah.
Because we're taking a few hits. It's going to be a busy year. We're going to have a lot of games to play.
Yeah, after Resident Evil comes out, it doesn't slow down for a couple of months.
What are you talking about? It's already started.
That's true.
We've been like the last month, literally, I feel like I've been getting game after game after game to play.
Yeah, man, it's definitely been good. There's something to play for everybody. Shout out to Queen's Gambit. I heard that show's good, Pia. I've never watched it myself, but I might pick it up. We'll see.
Oh,
all
man.
right. I think we're running a little short on time here.
I gotta go do adult stuff.
Yeah, DC
Ew.
he has to go be an adult, unfortunately.
Who wants to do that? Ew.
But I think that's a good
Mm.
place to cut the podcast, man. We'll save our Atomic Heart impressions for next week. Give us a little bit more time to play it, chew on it a little bit. And we'll go from there, man. Thank you guys for hanging out today for episode 143. As always, we record the podcast every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/DaresTheArtist. You can always find the podcast on youtube.com/SuperWeapon as well. I'm going to get up out of here, man. The name's Darius the Artist. You can find me everywhere. Darius the Artist, where the E is a 3, and I appreciate all you good folks. We have a special guest coming on the podcast in a couple of weeks. Not going to say any names yet, but a very, very special guest. Very excited.
Did that person be in chat?
Maybe. You guys had to be here to see. You know, shout out to that special person that we're going to have on. Excited. Just got the confirmation yesterday. Whoop, whoop. But yeah, I'm gonna let DC have the floor, man. Get us up out of here.
Look at this. You see the chains? You see me? Look at the diamonds. Yeah. They're not real, but that's your problem, not mine. Anyway, first of all, I just want to give a special shout out. We trying to represent for the ladies this month. It is Women's Month, the month of March.
Women's History Month, yes.
Women's History Month, man. So we're gonna hold it down for the ladies. We already got one special guest lined up, and I'm aiming to get one more to, we gotta represent for the ladies. We gotta hear their side. We're gonna talk about some games. We're gonna do all that great stuff. I'm so excited for our guest that's coming on, and what's our guy name over there? Sergio, man, you've been hanging out, man. We appreciate you coming back and hanging here with us, having someone across the pond representing, you know what I'm saying, our overseas constituents. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Our good guy over there.
Yes, indeed.
But it's so sad because I'm going to try to post more of what we post on social media in the Discord so you can see Sergio. And because I do want you to see it, because we do appreciate having you here, man.
Absolutely.
But everybody else, you know where to find me on social media _1LDC, especially on Twitter. That's where I do all my jibber jabber. I like to just act crazy over there. But more importantly, follow the SuperWeapon Twitter page as well.
Please.
That's where all our gaming news, everything related to the show and gaming news will be posted on the SuperWeapon Twitter. If you want to just hear me talk a lot of random crap, you can follow me on Twitter and the Discord. And I have to go be an adult and do adult things. But Darius and crew and the gang, I believe they're going to play a little Apex. Pia, don't talk about Apex. It's the greatest game of all time. Don't do that. But also Pia 1v1 chess. Yeah, I heard that. Okay, cool. Gotcha. And that's it, man. Take it on home, baby.
All right. Thank you guys for hanging out, man. This is going to be the audio version. If you're in chat, hang around. We're going to play some games, and we will see y'all next week. Peace.